Hello, friends. Stef here from my hypnotherapy marketing. Welcome back to our regular Thursday meetings about marketing 101 for those who are just starting out or those who are already online and like to improve your marketing, your outreach, finding clients, etc. So, today's topic, I was selecting actually something that Barbara was posting the other day in our Facebook group. And Barbara was asking, "Hey, Steph, I have another question. What would you recommend for the marketing? To use your own name and make a brand or create a new name?" And if I'm not mistaken, what Barbara is referring to is if you're just starting out, should I register a domain name under my own name, such as something I have done. I have a hybrid model, by the way. So I registered under stefbecker.com. Everything that goes under this umbrella is this is my personal brand. Or on the other hand, is it advisable, or in which occasions is it more advisable to build a business brand? And a business brand being not your personal brand, so it's not your name, but something like hypnotherapyservices.com or hypnotherapylondon.com. So you could link it to a specific location, for example. So Barbara's question is very important one, because it will determine the way you do marketing, and it will also determine the possibility to yes or no add more services to what you're offering. Just to give you an example, you could very simply just start out like most of us do when we start offering hypnotherapy services, but down the road, you could very much extend those services to include coaching, specific type of coaching like neuro-linguistic programming, NLP coaching. You could add at some point in time, you could have the desire to offer online courses. For example, let's say you're offering services to remove obstacles in terms of self-esteem, confidence, public speaking, etc. So you have a niche that you develop, and at some point in time, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I could actually help those people more over time by creating a regular Facebook group with associated activities that help those people remain on track when it comes to self-confidence, self-esteem and confidence. So you could create something like, let's say, a meditation group or get-togethers. So you extend the services by doing so. And you could even become, let's say, a business coach, because a lot of business people just starting out have this problem of self, the value that you have in regards to your own personality, and that you want to bring out with the services that you're offering. So there's a lot of people that I encounter in various Facebook groups when it comes to marketing and marketing agency. When they offer specific services, they just think they're not there yet. So they have this what's called imposter syndrome. And when you suddenly develop the ideas around the possibilities to go beyond just offering hypnotherapy services, well, obviously, you need to add them somewhere as a service offering, and that somewhere very often is also obviously your website. And when that happens, the decision to have created a personal brand versus a business brand influences how easy it is to add those services. So let me explain to you in a little bit more detail the advantages and the disadvantages that are related to building a personal brand versus a business brand. And it's something that I've been tackling with in the past quite often, because I'm, as you know, I'm coming from the originally speaking, I'm a marketing guy. I've been doing marketing for over 20 years. And I've then specialized in PPC marketing, which is pay-per-click marketing. So everything linked to Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, everything that's related to pay-per-click. And then little by little in the agency, I've added other services, social media, conversion optimization, content marketing. So I have content writers writing articles for my clients in the agency. And over time, my purpose in life and what I'd like to do with my life has changed. So from the agency guy, I'm now moving slowly but surely over to helping people become business owners themselves. And you see what I'm doing here is helping hypnotherapists launch their business, improve their business, scale their business based on the knowledge that I have acquired as a marketing guy. And little by little, I discovered a real love and also facility, and it comes somewhat easy to me to teach. The love for helping others, helping people succeed and achieve the same level of freedom that I have achieved 15 years ago when I built my own agency and a home-based business. Really, I still have an office downtown, but at the same time, I'm offering my services here, mainly working from home now, and that's something I'm offering now to other people, how to build that. I call it a lifestyle business. So I created a website, My Lifestyle Business. And by the way, I should actually show this instead of just talking to you. It's so much better to show the images that go with whatever is presented. So here you have My Lifestyle Business, which is the website that I built some time ago. And you see here in the right-hand top side, you see Stef Becker. So there is the personal name attached to it, where this is a business brand, right? The brand is My Lifestyle Business. It's not Stef Becker, but at the same time, I have Stef Becker as a business brand, and Stef Becker as a personal brand. Now, where's my mouse? That's when you're having too many screens open. Now, here it is. So let me show you quick Stef Becker. So we go here, stefbecker.com. I have it as a personal brand, right? And you see the personal brand is very much related to really what I have decided to do moving forward, like helping others launch and realize their dream, building a lifestyle business working from home. And hypnotherapy for me really is the personal experience as Stef building a hypnotherapy business working from home, to also be able to teach that specific niche and what's required to be successful as a hypnotherapist to those who'd like to do it the way I did it, by assembling all the digital marketing tools that make it really happen, make it possible to achieve a six-figure business in hopefully under 6 months. That's my objective. And and you see right away here the difference that we have between a personal brand and a business brand. And I have other business brands that I created as a digital marketer. Let me show you, like just this one, PPC University. So PPC University, I teach people how to launch their own agency working from home, right? Something I did, as I explained earlier, 15 years ago. So this entire platform helps people become Google certified. That's what I did, and that's what launched really the business. It goes much faster when you have professional certifications, something I recommend also as a hypnotherapist. So I have all those brands that I'm maintaining, but they all go under one big umbrella, which is my name, Stef Becker, which is the personal brand. So now that I have showed you a few of my own examples when it comes to a personal brand, business brand, let me tell you a little bit about explain to you the advantages and the disadvantages linked to each personal brand versus a business brand. And by the way, whenever you've got a question, please do leave them in the comments on this Facebook group, underneath in the Facebook group, underneath the event, or directly in the Facebook group. I should be able to see them pop up here on my screen. Let me just quickly check that I don't have already Reactions? Not yet. So yeah, wherever you see this video, underneath the video is a comment box. Whenever you leave a comment there, I'll be able to see it on my screen here. I will be able to share your comment live on screen for everybody to see. And obviously, I'll respond to your questions as they come. So let's begin with the personal brand and the advantages related to a personal brand. So the personal brand being something like Stef Becker, your own name, and then you register it as .com, for example, and they show you a little bit later on today where you can register your domain name. There are various addresses, a lot of addresses, by the way, registrars, they are called. Some of them are better than others, and some are more expensive than others. There's not one size fits all, one price fits all. They are in competition with each other, and I'll show you the cheapest ones versus the more established ones, and they're usually also the more expensive one. So, personal brand. Personal brands are really great for one-person businesses, such as a hypnotherapist, or coaches, or artists, or speakers, right? If you are certain, more or less, that you'll have decided what you'd like to do with your life and your name, and there's nothing else that you think you will want to add down the road, then a personal brand is the right thing to do, I would say. Let's say you're a hypnotherapist and that's what you do. You've decided hypnotherapy is really your thing. You don't want to become, and you don't have ambitions in terms of building a big business with employees, et cetera, et cetera. You wouldn't need a business brand, right? The advantage is that, well, first of all, it's easy to create because it's your name, right? And hopefully your name has not been already registered with the registrar. That happens. And for me, that happened. StefBecker.com was taken by someone else. So there are more Stefan Beckers than me, and that's a lot of people, my friends, call me Stef anyway. So Stef Becker was the personal brand that I then registered. And so it makes it easy to identify with your own name across the board. So you have your name on your website, you have your name on your business cards. It's easier to build your personal brand when you talk, like me doing a live stream. Talking as Stef Becker is easier than talking as PPC University, which is a company name, a brand, really, right? So it makes a few things easier if you remain in something specific that you'd like to do. And very importantly, if you have the ambition of nurturing your personal brand so that people get known to you, what you do under your name. That's what really is a personal brand, really, that's where it shines. As I mentioned earlier, the domain name very often is available. Sometimes you have to do a few changes if your name has already been registered, but usually speaking, those are the most easiest ones to register in terms of availability. It is, for those of you who may be wondering, because a business brand is something that you usually copyright, trademark, you protect it because you invest time and considerable amount of money into building a brand, so you need to protect it. And the same can be done with a personal brand. You can protect your name as a brand name, officially trademarked. And I can quickly show you how this has been done by people that you may know very well, actually. Let me see where it is. Here we go. I'll share my screen again. So here you see Marissa Pierce's own name that has been protected. Oh, why is I don't know what you are seeing right now, but I see myself and something went wrong here. Let me check this again. Okay, here I'm back. You should be seeing me. Let me share the screen again with the PC. Something went wrong earlier. So let me know, by the way, in the chat box if what you see is really my screen now with Marissa Peer being displayed. And this is the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And you see that Marissa has trademarked her own name in the United States. So trademarking your name is possible, and it needs to be done, just for your information, in the different countries you want to be protected. ad in. Sorry. So this is for United States. She also, Marissa, registered her name, her trademark, in Europe, right? And in Europe, nice on the website, you see even when it has been accepted as and the application has been accepted, when it was published, the application, when is the end of the opposition period, because people can react to your attempt to protect your name if they have the same name, or if they have a brand that exists already with the same name, then they can oppose your attempt to trademark your name. And you see, it's not that long time ago, 2 years ago, Marissa protected her own name while she's been in business for quite some time. So she realized at some point in time, probably, oh, wait a minute, I'm communicating with my name everywhere. I'm becoming known as the hypnotherapy diva who developed a system that works very well in terms of helping people solve their problem, remove obstacles. And she did so obviously based on something she learned from herself, from various hypnotherapists she's been training with. But she has she brought this this system that allows her to train others into the world, which is very unique. And she wanted to protect that. And she did it with her name, but she also protected RTT. She protected rapid transformational therapy. She protected the logos associated to that. So both a business brand and a personal brand can be protected via trademark. And talking about trademark, if ever you are in the situation, or you're asking yourself whether or not something like this would be of interest to you down the road, it can become quite expensive to trademark a name. Let me remember, PPC University. When I trademarked PPC University, it was about, I think it was between $3,000 and $5,000 for lawyer's fee and registration fee. And that was only for the US and Canada in 3 classes. So the way it works with trademarks is that you protect a brand for a specific class. And the class is something like, I protected for software. I protected for courses and seminars. I protected for, I don't know, for mechanical products. I protected for transportation. So there are classes for which you need to protect the trademark. And obviously, you choose the classes which correspond to the service offerings that you're doing with the service that you are offering under the brand. So it doesn't mean that if you have protected, or Marissa Peer, for example, if you talk about Marissa Peer, if you have protected Marissa Peer under therapy, medical, teaching, online courses, forums, and this kind of those classes, it doesn't mean that Marissa Peer will be also protected for, let's say, apparel or promotional products, which is a different class, right? If she wanted to do that, she would need to add those classes to the protection and go through the process again, because there could be oppositions in regards to those different classes. So long story short, it's something it's worthwhile if you think that what you are building will be of value down the road, and you build a brand. It is important to you, and you want to make sure that it's protected, that nobody uses your name and then sells your idea and your expensive branding over time, exploits that to sell their own services under your name. Not necessarily the person name, but the brand name. If you have something like rapid transformational therapy, nobody can offer or use rapid transformational therapy, RTT, which is the system that Marissa Peer created and trademarked. Nobody can use it without risking being contacted by Marissa's lawyers and ask them to immediately cease the utilization, the usage of that trademark. If you're interested in knowing more about trademarks, how things are working, how expensive that can be, etc., there's a great website that I can recommend. It's a guy I discovered, and which I will use moving forward probably. He's located in BC, British Columbia, Canada. Here, I found it very. I found the person really interesting in terms of the approach. I don't know what his name is. He's got a Russian name or Ukrainian name. I think he's Ukrainian. I'm not sure. But his name is, what's his name? Anyway, his company name is Trademark Factory. And as I said earlier, trademarking can be very expensive, especially if you have to face oppositions and you need to defend oppositions in court. So this gentleman here has, knowing what people are looking for, knowing that a lot of the personal brand people have not big company funds to finance trademarking, he developed specific programs, 3 programs, I believe, to where he helps you register a trademark anywhere. I think. It's trademark. No, wait a minute. I think it's he offers it for the US, for the Europe and Canada, and he's very. He gives great information here for free on his YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel is Trademark Factory, in case you're interested. And his services, then you'll find his website where he offers his services. I don't want to make too much advertise his own services because I'm not even a client of his, but he's really good. I really liked the way he's interviewing people. He's explaining trademarks, how it works, and then he has really, really great, I think, a great pricing when I compared that with what I have been paying in the past. So that would be something worthwhile looking into. So let's go back to so personal brand advantages. We talked about the advantages. Now let's talk quickly about the disadvantages. So the downside with the personal brand is that your brand doesn't really tell what you do, right? Me having a website with a personal brand called stefbecker.com, well, you're left guessing. What does Stef Becker do, right? It's not written, it's not explained in the domain name in this case, which is, by the way, a very important part of your identity, because as you know, digital marketing is the main way today to market. So your URL, your domain name, and everything needs to reflect that, needs to be integrated into everything you do in terms of marketing. So it's very important to understand when you use a personal brand versus a business brand. So the problem with the personal brand is that you can't detect it, right? It's you need to open stefbecker.com. Let me open mine, and then you need to understand. Well, I understand here from my own page that, well, there's something about somebody helps me how to launch a dream lifestyle business, and then you can get exclusive access to the live broadcast, free masterclasses, and Q&A Facebook group, which is basically what we're doing here with hypnotherapy, right? You're in my group, and I had this here specifically for my lifestyle business, but I then decided to focus on specifically the niche of hypnotherapy because it's something that is of personal interest to me. So again, you need to discover it on the page. Instead of writing it. If you have something like PPC University, which is a business brand, you immediately understand, but this is all about learning about PPC, right? What about PPC is then explained here in the title, but the domain name itself reflects the service and the product being offered, right? Here you see it. So you have here PPC University. The name helps us understand already something is going on with education, teaching, learning, and PPC is pay-per-click, and then it explains right away, this is about helping people kickstart a 6-figure Google-certified digital marketing business in just a few days, which is really absolutely possible. It can be kickstarted in a few days because of the Google certification courses, which are accessible online on this website. That's kickstarting. So the big advantage again is of personal brands, of business brands, that you understand right away what's going on. The other advantage related to a business brand is that you have an easier task in terms of search engine optimization. And when we talk about websites, we all talk about also being coming up organically, easily in Google if somebody is looking for a service that's related to what you're offering. So when that happens, having a business name and domain name attached to what you're offering, you don't need to do a lot of explaining. ppc.university is self-explanatory. My domain, mylifestyle.business, is self-explanatory. It doesn't explain in detail what exactly is offered, but you get a pretty good idea what this is about, right? And the same could be said if you have a website, a business brand that you would register under hypnotherapylondon.com. Everybody would understand this is about somebody offering hypnotherapy services in the Greater London area, right? So it is self-explanatory. That's easier and more achievable with business brands. So what else have we got here? I took a few notes. Let me look over my notes. Oh yeah, there's one big one. If you plan on building a hypnotherapy business for yourself, and that's about it, it will never go further, then a personal brand is perfectly fine. Should you decide to want to sell your business down the road at some point in time because you want to do something else, because you want to retire, for all sorts of reasons, if you have a personal brand, it's very difficult to resell, right? If I would do hypnotherapy under this personal brand, Stef Becker would be my hypnotherapy website, I will not be able to resell Stef Becker to anyone else because that's my name, right? Whereas if I had registered my hypnotherapy services under, I'm located in Montreal, let's say, Hypno Coach Montreal, that's much easier because whoever does hypno coaching or hypnotherapy services or offer coaching services in that area could just take that website, change a few things in terms of who am I, and could continue running the services, right? So that's a consideration to have, something to take into consideration when it comes to deciding between a personal brand and a business brand. What else have we got here? That's pretty much it. Now, there is the possibility to create a hybrid model, and that's what I have chosen for myself. Let me show to you what I mean with that. So you saw a little bit earlier that I have PPC University, I have my lifestyle business, and then I have my hypnotherapy businesses, which is actually for now still under stefbecker.com. Here it is. You see stefbecker.com is here. And under Stef Becker, look at the domain name here. The link is stefbecker.com/hypnotherapy. Okay. So what this means is there's a standalone installation. All this has been done with the Convert landing page builder, which makes it really very easy to actually do this, to attach it to a website, an existing website. If I wanted to keep it like that, I could very simply just put on my personal brand here, I could add a link here, hypnotherapy, right? So that, this is my lifestyle business one. Under Stef Becker, hypnotherapy, I would add here. I could add here PPC University. I could add my lifestyle business, and that's probably what I will be doing. But they will all be added as a link to those different websites. So this website, Stef Becker, the personal brand, would link out to PPC University, would link out to my lifestyle business, and would link out to a separate domain for my hypnotherapy services. So it's perfectly possible to do a hybrid model, in which case your personal brand is probably the better choice, right? If you choose a personal brand under stefbecker.com, here you can add any type of service that you would want to offer down the road: online courses, coaching, hypnotherapy, online meditation classes, whatever. You could all add them in the form of links here, and they would then link out. And so you would have a separate website that could be resold if that would be your objective under the PPC University banner. And in this case, the link would just disappear on your personal brand website, and that's it. There's not more to be done. So that's probably about it when it comes to distinguishing between a personal brand and a business brand. Now, before moving further, let me know if you have questions right away. It's pretty straightforward, though. If you have questions, leave them in the comment box so that I can read them, access them, and answer them. Other than that, we will now explain where you could register your domain name. And I have created a little, let me see here. Oh, just one before I switch it on. You see, I registered recently this domain here, the Hypno Coach. So the Hypno Coach that you see here is not sure yet if I will keep it. I registered it just in case, because registering, how do you say registering? To register the domain name is not very expensive, but once it's gone and you didn't do it, you will bite your fingers, because good domain names are difficult to come by. And when you see something and you can record it, then you can register it, then you do it very quickly. And you see, I chose a different, what's called a TLD, top level domains, these are called. I didn't choose .com because that was taken already. I took coach, so the combination between the domain name and the top level domain makes sense to people who would come across it. So the Hypno Coach, you understand pretty easily what this does. And now let's go to a few registrants that I have recorded for you, not recorded, like saved for you. The three main ones that I use is Pork Bun. This is Pork Bun, funny name. I don't know why I choose Pork Bun, but anyway, that's one of the least expensive one to register a domain name. You also have name.com, which is a well-known one. It's more expensive. And then you have also Google domains. And if you enter a name and you look them up, if they're available, let's make a test here with hypnotherapy.com, which obviously would be taken, because I cannot imagine that I haven't checked that in the first place and that nobody else would have taken it. That would be very strange. So you see, hypnotherapy.com has been taken. It's unavailable. But you see, look at this. There is somebody who registered hypnotherapy.xyz. And they registered, and they're trying to sell this for close to $50,000, $50K. So there's a real market for domain names that you may want to be aware of, and which makes it very, which makes it worthwhile for you to look into this and to, could I do the screen bigger to read? Of course. Let me increase this size a little bit. Here we go. Now you can see it bigger. So again, I just entered hypnotherapy.com, and you see crossed out as hypnotherapy, and hypnotherapy.xyz. Somebody registered for $50K, and they want to resell it for $50K. Between you and me, good luck, because with XYZ, I would not want that domain name. But then there's Hypnotherapy app. Again, somebody purchased that for probably $10, $15, $20, but they're trying to resell it for $6,240. And then you have a few ones. This is Aftermarket IO, Dev. You see, Hypnotherapy Dev is still free. I'm not presenting this to you to purchase those. Be careful. These are not necessarily good top-level domains. TLDs, these are called. .com is a TLD, top-level domain. But if you had something for clinic, that could be very interesting. But you see, these are quite expensive top-level domains. You have cloud, day, me, whatever, etc., etc. So that's how I did my research the other day when I came across the possibility to register the hypno.coach I like it because it's short and it explains right away what you do. So if you have, let's say, you have to register a personal brand. Let's say, and you will show you that Stefan Becker, which is my passport, has been taken by someone, not me. See, it's been taken, it's unavailable. And then Stef Becker obviously is what I registered for myself, and that's taken as well, obviously, because it's my own. So, but if you are Marissa here, very likely, I think Marissa has her own website already under .com, so that's been unavailable. But then there are ways to make it possible, even if something has been taken under your own name, to still be able to get it somehow. For example, if I add a hyphen here, if Marissa did a good job, the people who recommend her what to register, they would have recommended very likely to register this as well. So let's make a search, and they didn't. Okay, so somebody could impersonate her, use this website to do whatever they want under her name. There's nothing she can do. The only way she can do, and that's why she registered her name as a trademark. Whenever that happens, you can add filters to Google search, where whenever somebody writes with your name, you receive an alert via email, and then she could ask them a kind note that this is a trademarked name and they should immediately stop using it. And that's the reason why the trademark can be important, especially when you add a lot of money into your own branding. But let's take what is your names, by the way? Let me have who's online. Can you give me your name? Let's check if you're available. Let me check in the group. April Gonzalez Stockley. That's a long name. So probably April Gonzalez. Let's just make a test here. April Gonzalez. Let me get this right. Wait a minute. April Gonzalez Stockley. Gonzalez Stockley. Stockley.com. This is what we want. Okay. Maybe you want something like aprilstockley.com or aprilgonzalez.com, because this is your brand. It doesn't need to be, this is not your passport, right? You can play around with this, but let's just test it. Let's have a look. If somebody, would be surprising, has it. No, you can easily have it for $9.13 a year. You see what I mean? If you have April Gonzalez, available. Lucky. April Stockley. Again, available. You see what I mean? I'm showing you this for two reasons. Oh, Andrea. Okay, Andrea Sturz. Of course, we do the same, Andrea. Andrea Strunz. AndreaStrunz.com. Here we go. And so it's available. So I'm showing you this for a very simple reason. If you see that your name is available, go there today and purchase your domains. It's so important. It's nothing, $9.13 a year to register your name and to be protected. Because if somebody takes your name for whatever reason, trust me, you will not be happy. If you're in the business of selling anything online and you need a website, even if you don't use it right away, register it today. Make sure that you got that domain name, that it's secured to you, that you have it. Because if Marissa, for example, would not have done what she has done down the road, she would be in really, really hot water, because nobody's obliged to resell the domain name they purchased, even if it's your name, back to you. Nobody. So you should always own your own name. So if you watch this video and you come across this moment where I tell you this, take it seriously, go on Porkbun or go on name.com, where we can do the same. AndreaStrunz.com. Look it up. It has not been recorded yet on the other website, Porkbun. This is just a review, but look at the price difference. Andrea Strunz. Oh, sorry, there's something wrong. Strunz.com. This is what we want. AndreaStrunz.com. Here we go. Now, look at the price difference. AndreaStrunz.com here is on sale for $13. Normally, it's $17. What this means is, like today, you can have it for $13.43 per year, but the next year, second year and plus, it will be $17 on name.com. And on Porkbun, it was right away and will always be $9.13. So that's almost 50% less. So Porkbun is well known for being way less expensive than the others. The thing is, why I registered a lot of my domains on Porkbun when I came across it, but I'm now pulling them over to Google Domain because I want everything under one roof. And Google Domain for some of the domains is not necessarily much more expensive than Porkbun. I prefer to have everything under one roof, but I almost invariably started out with Porkbun for the newer domains that I purchased because they're less expensive. And once you have them purchased under Porkbun, for example, you can transfer them later on to either domain, name, or to Google domains. You just pay a transfer cost, which is basically the renewal for a year. So if I would have, let's make a test here, AndreaStrunz.com. AndreaStrunz.com. What? All right, this correctly? Yeah, Andrea Strunz. So let's see how much it would be with. It's $17 a year. I have the impression. Wait a minute, where is it? No, this is the net. This .ca, $17. $17 a year. So $17 a year is pretty much comparable to name.com. Right, so it's really more expensive than Porkbun. The only thing with Porkbun is that it's a relatively new company. Okay, they have very stringent obligations when it comes to registering the domains, but it has happened with smaller providers in the past that when they ceased operations, it can be difficult for your domain to be given. Normally, another domain name provider registrar has to take on the domains that were registered under the former registrar. They cannot go void. They cannot. It's impossible that they just disappear. But what can happen is that certain account access that you had to this specific domain was linked to a password, and that password is no longer available here because the website doesn't exist anymore. So you have a trouble to getting back your domain and to prove that you're the rightful owner, etc., etc. So it can go troublesome. So that's the only thing that would prevent me from keeping everything on Porkbun, but I still have a lot of things on Porkbun. But I'm moving my main domains. Here it is. My main domains, I have pulled them over to Google. So all my main domains are on Google. My PPC University, my lifestyle business, I pull them over, and the lesser important domains, I keep them on Porkbun. So that's basically about the domain name registrations. And let me show you something else that I registered with Porkbun. I'm going to quickly, well, I shouldn't actually do this. I shouldn't access my accounts with my emails. No, I can't really do this because I would reveal the domains that I have registered, and that's not a good idea. But what I want to show you is on Google, the importance of a good domain name. I have, by the way, my internet. My Hypnotherapy. Let me increase this too. You don't see it, so let me share my screen. I increase. Oh, I can increase the. Sorry, I cannot increase this field. So my hypnotherapy.com is something I have. No, that's not it. That was not it. On Google, if I go on Google and I am searching for hypnotherapy hypnotherapy marketing, right? So you see there are ads coming up. There's somebody who registered hypnotherapy.marketing, and which is very clever because you understand immediately what she's offering, and so if you have a personal brand versus a business brand, something we have been discussing a little bit earlier, having certain keywords in your the name of in your domain name helps people quickly identify what you are doing and entices people more to click on those links. Nobody will look for on the web for Stef Becker, for example, if they're looking for hypnotherapy, because nobody knows that I'm a hypnotherapist, that I'm offering those services. So I first need to invest quite considerably in my personal brand, stefbecker.com, until somebody would have the reflex to find me with that name. That only happens when I become really important because I did a good branding. That happens, for example, for Marissa Peer, because she's doing a great job in terms of personal branding. She communicates about her name. She links her name to the services she is offering, teaching hypnotherapy. Then it's becoming possible. But when you have a business brand and you have a keyword that explains what you're offering in the domain name, makes things a lot easier. And then they also come up it's not necessarily an advantage in terms of SEO, but when you do ads, the name can be used, the URL can be used in your ad, and that's where that's where an advantage is. And it's more recognizable in terms of the service what you're offering. So basically, that's what I wanted to show you. So today I showed you the advantages and disadvantages related to creating a personal brand. I explained to you the advantages and disadvantages when it comes to building a business brand. And I also presented you with the hybrid model. And again, this is really a reflection that you should have when you're just starting out. You can always add things later on. That's not the problem. The thing is that for whatever that happens, what happens down the road, you don't know that yet today. And my philosophy is, whenever I have an idea that I'm in terms of a business and building something where I put money behind it because of the marketing, I want to make sure that I open the doors up front before even having all those websites, which means like I register the domain names that might be important to me, because registering them is not expensive. But once they're taken and you make the decision later on, and then they have been taken, then you're biting your fingers. That's the reason. But you don't need to go crazy either. But I think at a minimum you should register your own name, because it will save you a lot of hassle if that becomes something that will be important for you in terms of offering your hypnotherapy services today, tomorrow, or in a few months. So that would be a reflex that I would definitely develop to register that. So I having a look at the questions, and let me put this on the screen. So we have I don't know who it is, but so if I buy my name as a domain, then I can add on like /hypnotherapy/books, right? That is correct. That can always be done very easily with Convertry, by the way, the landing page builder that I've been presenting a few times, I think, in past live streams. The big advantage with Convertry is that you can build both your homepage, so your website, so to speak, and all the landing pages, the service-specific landing pages. You can add them very easily, and that's how they would be done. /hypnotherapy/books. What you saw earlier here on my own website. Let me show you that quickly. Oh no, I can't show it right now because we're still building it out with Convert to the different services. You remember on my homepage when I share you quickly my homepage. On my homepage, I have these. This is a Convertry homepage, which is my website. I use Convertry to build my website. I have all those groups with anxiety, stress, fears, phobias, what have you. Everything. So each of those can become a landing page, and I will build landing pages specifically for smoking. One for childhood problems, one for sleeping problems, one for. If you wanted to do that with Wix, with Squarespace, or with WordPress, it's possible, but it will take more time. It will be more expensive because very likely you will not be able to do it on your own. You need a web developer doing it. Whereas in Convertry, you do it really out of the box. It's like cloning a page, clicking a button, and the page is online. That's how easy this is. But then obviously you need to change the text, add a different picture. And that's what we're doing currently with Stop Smoking. We're building a landing page for Stop Smoking. And once this landing page as a template exists, it's very easy to create all the other template pages. And then you have specific landing pages. So in answer to your question, if you buy a domain name, yes, then you can add all those different services, also books and /courses, whatever to it. Okay. And you say further, it is like having one website landing page and add another landing pages with /hypnotherapy and one landing page with /books. Let me try to understand that question. 1 second. It is like having one website or landing page, yes, and add other landing pages. Absolutely. That's exactly what you can do. Exactly. You have your own name as a domain. Let's say andreastrunz.com/hypnotherapy. Tomorrow, Andrea wants to launch an online course because she has people asking over and over again. I see that you offer how to overcome self-esteem issues and procrastination and whatever. And I also see that you are offering weekly meditation classes where we listen to your transformation recording and then we meditate. Oh, great. Meditation classes. You can /meditation. You can simply add it. And again, in Convertry, it's a click of a button. And that's where I really see the advantage of a landing page builder. It's how fast you can build those pages out. And by the way, Convertry, you can also use Convertry to have the entire, let's say you have andreastrunz.com as your main hypnotherapy website, but you decide to have your meditation classes under a completely different name as a branded business, something like hypnomeditation.com. Okay, you could register that with Porkbun, and from Porkbun create the link to point to Convertry, in which case on Convertry the same landing page can come up under the full domain under hypnotherapymeditation.com. Both is possible. The /books, the /hypnotherapy is possible, and the full domain. You could create as many different domains with Porkbun or name.com or under Google, and all send them to Convertry and have them come up on the Convertry. People will always see a different landing. It will see it as a website, which it is. It will come up as a separate landing page. So you, with a landing page build with WordPress, Wix, etc., that's possible too. But with Wix, that means you would need to create a separate account or to add a new domain to your Wix account, which is, I believe, a second times $50 a month. And if you want 3, 4, or 5, well, it becomes expensive. On Convertry, that's one price. And all the landing pages, you decide how they show up, as a full domain or as a / or even as a subdomain. It's so flexible. That's what I love with it. So let me see. I think there's another question. Was there? No, not right now. So basically, that's it. So the question is, yes, it's absolutely feasible. And again, the big advantage is with a landing page builder to have the possibility to do this really out of the gate. And what we are working on, just to let you know, because you know that I'm working on a solution, do it yourself, where we actually build everything out for hypnotherapists. We currently are working on the smoking landing page, or we then will start with where's the weight loss? There must be weight loss somewhere. The weight problems, landing page, and there was a third one. I think it was self-esteem, and they will all be built under the same template. Like, what you see, this is like a template. There's a picture, there's a title, there's a button, there's a second picture, and then there's a text, and then there's their categories. So those landing pages have a different design in comparison to this landing page. But once you have one landing page built out, it's very easy in Convertry or any other landing page builder. We use Convertry to click on clone. You have the clone, you give it a name. Let's say it's anxiety/anxiety. You click publish and it's there. That's how easy that is. With WordPress, it's not that easy because you need to design the page. There are CSS style changing. It's way more complicated. So yeah, basically that's it. I hope that that has been somewhat informative. And again, it's important to ask those questions early on because it determines the strategy and the way you do marketing. Again, the first thing you should do, everyone listening to this live stream, the first thing you should do is go either on Google domain. I would recommend Google domain because name.com has become incredibly expensive now. It's either Google domain or Pokebun to start out and register your personal domains. That's the first thing you should be doing. Even if down the road you start playing around with different domains that you may want to use as a business domain, as a business brand later on. You never know. If it's $10 for a year, you have it in your pocket. But one little tip, by the way, if ever you come something that you'd like to have, it's not free again. It's not free. It's already been taken. Play around, not with hyphens. That's not a good. Hyphens is never the best ideas, but play around with things like the or my. You see that a lot of my own domains, my lifestyle business, my hypnotherapy marketing, have this my before, because a lot of people registering the domain names don't think about those prefixes. And that's a possibility to find very good domain names that have not been taken yet. Or it could be the hypnotherapy marketing, or it could be the lifestyle business. I could have done that too. So there are ways to work around that and to play around with it. Just make sure that it's not becoming too long, because there's even a character limit where Google determines that that's not a good domain name, and so you have problems with search engine optimization. I think it's 20 characters or so. So try to remain short. That's the only thing to take into consideration when writing on more complex names. So if ever you've seen this, or you will see this this live stream in the Facebook group, and you have questions after watching it, post them underneath and I will respond to your comments. Other than that, I thank you again for being here, listening to it. And next week, same time, Thursday at noon EST. So far, I have planned to talk next week about traffic sources, how to generate traffic on your websites, on your home pages and your landing pages. Notably, I will obviously be speaking about PPC, because that's something I've an expertise in for a long time. So we will be talking about Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads. We will also talk about more organic approaches in terms of how to use social media. Yeah, that's about it. So thank you again for watching. I wish you a great day, and I talk to you soon. Bye-bye.